Spotify's chief used strong words to criticize Harry and Meghan for canceling their contract last year. It seems that Lemonada did not fear failure and chose to cooperate with Meghan, and now there are signs of a delay for Archetypes. Let's talk about it in this video. Hello and welcome back to the ms.royal channel. Just in February, Meghan loudly announced that she had signed a deal with Lemonada Media. This makes many people doubt her abilities. It is known that Meghan only produced one Archetypes podcast series for Spotify before they officially stopped collaborating. The number of products was too small compared to the contract value, so Spotify immediately canceled the link between them. As if to confirm that it doesn't have to be Spotify, Meghan completely has new contracts ready. Lemonada is her new stop. However, it seems that this project continuously encountered difficulties in the initial stages. One source believes that no episodes of Archetypes will be released this year. The project was delayed until 2025. The source also said that Lemonada does not want the podcast launch to be overshadowed by activities surrounding Meghan's new series in collaboration with Netflix. The media outlet is concerned that there will be scheduling conflicts between the launch of its podcast and Meghan's lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard. It's clear that Meghan's own allies also feel that she can't do too much at once. They've literally markled every single project that they've had any tenuous involvement in. No brand wants to work with them, and Netflix has yet to announce the shows they are producing. I wonder if all the recent activity is merely manifesting and Meghan Markle is using her time before her much-longed-for superstardom making jam.of, which there are 50 pots. Hardly a Herculean output if the aspiration is to be rich and successful. The only projects which have been successful for them are based purely and solely on Harry's family background. Her jam making is the only thing that's literally on the boil currently, and all she's so far achieved is jars of jam sent out to those who she thought would be a good marketing ploy. I have been doubtful since the start that she actually sent out 50 jars. So far, only a handful have been publicly acknowledged, and there's no way to verify how many she really made. I think she numbered them, so it appeared she sent out 50, but only made 4 or 5, which she sent to high-profile influencers. Because of those jars of jam, Meghan neglected her other projects and contracts. I wonder how the partners working with Meghan feel. When are companies going to realize that investing in Sussex couples will only result in financial loss? I wonder if businesses know this but compensate with the exposure they receive from being associated with them. Nobody is buying what they are selling, but bad publicity is still publicity at the end of the day. I fail to see what any of these companies see in them. They're just not very charismatic, and they don't really have interesting anecdotes to share past their royal connections. I'm sure there is a niche for them, but they certainly haven't hit on it yet. Meghan is of an age where she needs to stop chasing who she wants to be and accept who she is. Meghan's main problem is she tries to do too much all at once and doesn't stick to and develop any one thing. She has a scattergun approach to life, and it is just not working. I remember early on someone saying she and Harry sit down together at breakfast and brainstorm every morning. Meghan should stop brainstorming, decide who and what she is, and get on with it. Jumping from project to project and buying fake awards is not going to impress anyone. Pick one thing and actually do the work to make it successful would be my advice. Of course, I'm just talking here. Meghan won't be able to hear it. And if she heard it, there's no way she would follow someone else's advice. Meghan is too narcissistic to accept change. Meghan thinks she is entitled to start at the top by Harry's title. The podcasts that people really want to listen to are those that were started by previously unknown people who started at the bottom but worked their way to the top, earning people's trust and respect with talent, charisma, hard work, likability, and expertise in their field. Given the length of time, she kept Spotify waiting for a podcast, and they ended up giving her a production team to make them. I think Lemonada will be waiting a long, long time. Another week, another rebrand. She always looks like she's ready to release something. But after all, still nothing was done by this witch. This seems like an extremely odd thought, but I get the feeling that when Meghan looks at her life, she doesn't see whatever fame and notoriety she has now as strictly the result of her relationship to her husband. Perhaps that is why she can't make anything work. In her mind, she is the sole reason for any success, not her husband, her family, her in-laws, her friends, or anyone. She doesn't have to worry because anytime she feels like it, she will just produce more success all on her own. Cooking, gardening, entertaining, and in friendship. So much for the hardline champion of women's rights and equality. She's taken a mega leap back to the 1950s. Someone needs to tell her that she has no experience in building a brand, curating consumer products, manufacturing or distribution, budgeting, managing staff, creating profits for partners, designing product labels that stick to a jar, writing or producing film, marketing, innovation in any space, coffee, jams, podcasts, etc. Someone already said it, but Meghan refused to listen. Seems like Meghan has lots of ideas to add to their wealth and status, but working to bring those ideas to fruition appears to be a bit of a weak spot. I feel for companies that think that the Sussex duo is a solid return on investment. Outside of selling stories about their victimization within palace walls, they simply don't have anything to offer that is appealing to the majority of people. However, Meghan is always overly confident in herself. She also asserted that her podcast is very academic and it is expected to have the participation of many celebrities. However, based on their track record, the list of very high-profile guests was probably only in her mind, much like Harry wanting to interview people he'd never met. I seriously doubt very high-profile guests will want their reputations associated with these two things. It's been pushed to next year because very high-profile guests all said no thanks. Now they need to come up with a new list of very high-profile guests who will say yes. I see more like nobody is interested. Meghan is relying on us forgetting about what she has done, and that's why she isn't doing anything new. She will try and try and try to do something successful until even their supporters are sick of them turning their hand to anything in quest to stay relative and famous. Then they will have no choice other than to revel in the privacy they so desire, but it won't be a choice. Just that no one cares. Imagine who would be interested in Meghan's podcast all about herself. She has nothing to say and does not know how to talk about anyone or anything but herself. Everyone is beyond bored with the same story. Someone, sometime, somewhere did something that hurt my feelings because I say they hurt my feelings so I understand whatever happened in your life because it happened to me too. I'm too tired of this to even yawn. All she does is repeat actions called rebranding. After the millions of articles about them, I'm still unclear about what Meghan's brand is. All I can see is loads of self-promotion, using self-aggrandizing words and the hilarious word salad that's really quite a trademark now. What do they actually do, other than dressing up and getting on planes? Their relaunches and new projects all have that throw spaghetti at the wall and see if it sticks planning. Her Netflix show won't fly. Who wants to watch her lecture them in that voice about the right way to cook? Plenty of real chefs to follow for advice and fresh ideas without her. This is Meghan through and through, she shouted, looking at me. Spotify. Then they couldn't be bothered to do it, so Spotify pulled the plug, quite rightly. Then she announces the Lemonade social media deal only to throw that by the wayside because something better comes along. That is Meghan's life story, dropping people as soon as something better comes along and moving on whilst leaving others behind. She's not been successful at anything since she joined, then unjoined the royal family. Well, apart from keeping the title to gain financially. Unfortunately, the companies will get sick of her as she brings nothing to the table. I'm looking forward to the day when they pursue their dream of privacy, but Meghan never wanted that. She wants to be in the spotlight all the time. She has no work ethic. I doubt anything will be produced for Lemonada. It accomplished what it set out to do, gain publicity. I doubt they care if she produces anything. The lifestyle show will tank after the first episode. No one can listen to her word salad for more than a few minutes. Of course, that's if they can release it. We all know Meghan has a hard time taking anything seriously. That also brings us to the end of this video. If you agree with my opinion, please comment okay. If not, please express your so we can know your opinion. Don't forget to like and share the video. Your support is our motivation. Let's subscribe to receive notifications about the newest videos. We will be back soon. Thank you for watching and goodbye.